spot. And another early Saturday morning, drove up from the city. And today I'm working on the bridge a bit and a couple other heavy things I want to move that a friend's coming over to help with. And it's the day after Halloween. I hope you had a good Halloween, but even though who knows when I'm going to post this. But may all of your Halloweens be good or spooky or whatever. So anyway, it's cold up here. It's 40 degrees. It's early. It's only about 9:30 in the morning. And yeah, I'm ready to rock.
Well, I'm back at the spot. It's always later in the day than I want it to be, but it's still relatively early. There's always so much to do just to get geared up to get going when you arrive from, 150 miles away. But I got my BLT wrap, and I have a fire going over there across the brook. The bridge, as you can see, is started, but not finished. I just walked across it, but it was way sketchy. I barely made it. I had the fire going because I need to warm up the chainsaw, which I'm using to cut the timber to do a little bit of work today. And it's just like that. It's cold. It's 40 degrees. The chainsaw is sitting. That means the bar is cold. The bar oil is cold. It's very difficult to get it to idle when the bar is sort of frozen from cold oil that's like all sticky. So it's sitting by the fire, not too close, but close enough to warm up the bar. So it's going to stoke the fire. Before I move the camera, if you're wondering what this funny thing is hanging from my butt, oh, there goes a fisher cat. Did you see that? Bye! Ah! They're not really cats, but they're so cat-like. So people call them fisher cats. But I love that fisher. I've seen it 3 times now. That's the 3rd time. What a great omen. All right, anyway, this pad is just for hunters and outdoor people, whatever. It's foam. And so that every time I have to sit in the ground, because I'm always sitting in the ground until I get past this part or sitting on the log, at least I have something extra to keep my butt dry, even though I have self-drying sort of plastic insulated outdoor weather pants, which are very nice. I'm not trying to put too many extra cracks like that one I just put in, because then I'm allowing moisture to get in there. Yeah, I did a crap job, or my crappy sharpening situation did not help, but that hatchet could be a lot sharper. You want your hatchet to be really ideally razor sharp, and then be very careful with it when you use it. Some people mistakenly think that your axes shouldn't be that sharp, but that's people who have only ever split wood, so they're used to mauls. And mauls have to be somewhat dull, because you don't want to get it stuck in the wood when you're starting a split. So that, no, not too sharp, but your woodsman's axe, your hatchet, really should be as sharp as a chisel, which is razor sharp. You got to be able to, it should be as sharp as glass, if you could muster it. But I did not achieve that. I was sitting on a, little kitchen table in the kitchen in my apartment in the city with no vise and a crappy file. And files are everything. The crappier the file, the more you're going to be grinding away at metal, but not really moving much material. And that's the whole point of sharpening. And then if you can't keep the hatchet steady with some kind of vise, it's a drag. And so it was a drag. I did the best I could. And it's certainly better than nothing, but not much. No, it's not dull. It's sharp. I wouldn't want to get hit with it, but it just could be a lot sharper. One of the things you learn, or at least I have, more water in the boot, gross, is not to get water in your boots. Aside from not getting water in your boots, when you're working with this wood, you get impatient and you want the whole thing to fit right away and chop out that big chunk that's in your way, but you really want to move in increments. Take a little bit of time at a time, because you can't put wood back once you've chopped it off. Metal you can weld. Wood you cannot. I think this will be the last one that's where they're not directly across from each other. But I have to make them directly across from each other from now on because of the way I'm engineering the raised part of the bridge. And that depends on them being right across from each other so I can put a cross member support, because now that I'm getting them higher, they're going to need another support, which adds a lot more material I don't necessarily want to be adding. But it's got to be done. It's in the ballpark. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wish I could say it was more than that. All right, now's the part where I gotta be a little more diligent about how I set these up. One more set before I stop. I'll be really, really happy. One more set of mounting points. I don't know, it's kind of sketchy here, but we'll see what I can do. This battery's gonna die. I do have another one, so we'll just see how we do. So like I said, I don't have the highest expectations. A couple years would be great, but primarily I'm really trying to get through next season when I'm trying to build stuff up here and do stuff. I got to be able to cross this brook effectively, and so do my guests and helpers, who are often both at this point. Woo! I'm trying to get leverage, trying to get a leverage and an angle down on this so I can cut. It's not easy. I'm gonna have to do some yoga over here. I know I probably look silly, but nah, I don't think I'm gonna make it. This side I can get. This side I can't get till there's less water. That's just asking for trouble. And this is going down the water, which means I'm putting petroleum in the water and I'm getting water onto the bar. Neither of which is good. So this guy I can get out, and then I think I'll have to stop there. This is sketchy. All right, that's pretty good. Definitely punchy. That's gonna be good right there. This battery's going. Woo! Might get one more, but fortunately I have one charging, and that'll bring us to the end of the day. Higher? Let's see, higher? Okay, right there. All right. I would have liked to sink it a millimeter deeper, but that screws in there.
And that is it for the day. Hallelujah. Just want to get out of here. That's what I call a good day's work. Good golly. I need to get paid for this. Alright, let's take a look. Not bad.